Hello everyone. Well, over breakfast this morning I had my time in which I sat and spoke with Spirit and contemplate what my day is and where I'm heading within myself. And I did notice that throughout that morning, because I do complete readings a little earlier on, that a majority of the readings that had come through all related to past loves, people that they had still felt a very strong connection with, people in which, or a person within whom they were hoping for a reconciliation, or they were hoping that they would be able to find a sense of hope back in that relationship. And I went through each of these readings, and some of these readings were very full on with the answers, letting that person know that the position that they are in right now is completely different to where they were back in that time. And sometimes we cannot recapture a certain experience or what we feel is an emotional involvement which we may have had. It never recaptures the same. We mature, we better understand, and we tend to find ourselves a little bit more protective. However, the romanticism that we have within our mind and our energy builds upon even the smallest of good times and makes them even grander, even bigger than where they were. So that sometimes can leave an opening, a door in which we feel we need to recapture because we're feeling very low in our current life experience, or we may not be feeling that we're in the right frame of mind or space, and we're feeling that we need to recapture something that in our head we feel was the ultimate at that time. So hence past relationships become very much the focus. We're looking for somewhere to attach our energy, to a place or a person or a situation or a time or an era in which we felt what we feel was complete or happy or content or achieving or blissful. Whatever it is, that's where we're at. So I spoke with Spirit this morning and I said, you know, I've been through these same experiences. I had spent time in which I had really romanticized what I believe love would be, what I believe things should eventuate and become. However, I realized that really in going back, that circumstances never really changed. The illusion of what I believed was what I was seeing was completely different in reality. And Spirit prompted me to remember this and said to me, it is where we feel that we are most needed within ourselves that we look for something else to fill. And it can be a person, it can be a situation, but that need, that feeling that we need to have that filled by a circumstance or a lesson can sometimes be just as daunting. So I gather through all of this that Spirit's connection was more about bringing the realization that you cannot recapture a past feeling or person or situation. You cannot recapture that essence because we've already had it and we've learnt from it. We've brought something bigger back through. We've matured, and that person or that situation is not going to give you that same euphoric feeling because that lesson has already transpired. And what was ever the downfall in that relationship or that circumstance is often what has promoted growth within ourselves. So when we are looking to recapture, what are we looking to really recapture? The lesson, that which only fulfilled a certain portion of what we were looking for? Or are we looking to recapture something within ourselves? And that is probably something that we need to really look at, because that was exactly how Spirit put it to me. It was like an aha moment. I didn't choke on my coffee, but I was like, oh my goodness, that is that. I am looking at ways in which I can recapture a sense of who I was or felt I was in that period of time. And the euphoria was not recaptured. The situation did not deliver the way that my mind had perceived. The lesson was as it was. And Spirit didn't sit there and go, ha ha, taught you that. No. Spirit encouraged me to look at this in a different way and to be able to accept that perhaps I had put myself back in that position to be able to look at ways in which I can reinforce my growth and my purpose and the reason for having a more deserving love. And that deserving love sometimes has to come from within. I need to see my better qualities. So for all the readings I completed today, and there were quite a few, were all about love and past love, chapters which are still left without closure. And the readings were directed at, should I try again? Should I see if I can connect with this person? Does this person think about me? Well, the answer is really within. And out of all of the relationships that do or are truly meant to be, there's only 5% of you that are really genuinely meant to be back together. The other 95% of you have come in contact with a situation and a life experience which is there to help you to grow. And some of you may say, well, that is not the case, because I'm so deeply in love with this person and we've tried everything and we are definitely meant to be together. When you start making compromises and excuses for someone else's behavior, you already know that you're in the wrong situation. So this is where Spirit really prompted this morning for me to really look at where I had built a romanticism. And this is why when people connect, I get a sense of familiarity. I understand exactly where their energy is heading, what that lesson involves, because Spirit shows me through a reflection of my own life. And look, not all people will go down that path. Like I said, 5% of you will actually overcome whatever the hurdle was, and both of the beautiful souls that you are will join and you will live happily ever after. But for others, it could be that you're banging up against, this person and situation forever in a day, and it only takes you to recognize that you are the one that needs to put closure here, walk away, and start living the life you are meant to live and devoting it to that which makes you truly happy. And when people say, yes, but I was truly happy with this person, it was beautiful. Well, no, there wasn't all of that. That's the romanticism that we've created in our mind that has made us feel that we were truly loved, that made us feel that we were on the right path and this was our destined soulmate for the rest of our life. Unfortunately, there were flaws and lessons and experiences, and we've picked the most beautiful parts of those to be able to hold on to, which has made that journey worthwhile. And often that romanticism is the biggest thing that gets us into trouble, because we tend to find ourselves repeating that same mistake or same lesson in order to gain that euphoria that we've had with that experience. So I guess Spirit's message for me and for you, perhaps if you're watching, is to enable yourself to heal, to mend, to fix that which you feel is needing attention within yourself. The need to fill a void needs to come from within. It cannot come from a person or a circumstance or a situation. You need to already have those foundations and bases within yourself. Otherwise, we tend to attract another lesson, and each lesson can be a little bit tougher as we go along. So love is true and unconditional. It's one that comes from within first, and then we build upon that. And how we build the relationship with ourselves often is how we can find ourselves relating to a relationship externally, whether this is a friendship, a romantic, a platonic, anything else like this, okay? But it's how we build it within ourselves. So Spirit promptly reminded me this morning that even though we may be all going back through a reminiscent time in our life, how we could have made changes, would have made changes, should have seen this better, the aha moment, we are really starting to recognize how far we are coming forward, and sometimes opening that door of, oh, should I go back or should I give it another chance? You already know that answer within yourself. If you tear away the areas in which you have felt that there has been small connections of good times, yet a majority of that was a tougher lesson, then that is showing you that there were imbalances already presented within that relationship. But the romanticism of what you felt was love was what made you feel that you needed to hang in there, or needed to make compromises, or I'm the one that needs to change to make this happen. Maybe I'm too independent. Maybe I'm too high in my expectations. Well, no, because the right partner melds in and forms. So this is about you having a chance to look back and possibly in some cases thank your lucky stars, okay, that that person and that situation didn't work out. And for others, this is about bringing closure. Where have you fallen in love with love? The feeling of love, the euphoric emotional and mental connection. Where have you created that in a person or a situation that may not have been as healthy for you? So I hope that you are able to take some thoughts today and be able to work through any questions that you may have. Connect with Spirit, connect with your inner self, and most of all, have a beautiful day. Cosmic hugs, everybody.